Yo, what's up? Today I'll be reacting to a video called I'm Not a Bum, I'm a Human Being. Somebody recommended this to me, so I'm reacting to it.
My name is Ronald Davis. I've been on the street for about a year and a half now. Well, I come from the suburbs. Life, which is rough. And I done slept in Lower Wacker, I done slept on the bridges, I done slept in little cardboard boxes and stuff, just surviving, especially in the wintertime is the hardest time. And I go to fill out applications for a job and stuff. They look at me, I'm not looking presentable, and then we'll call you, leave a number. But how can I leave a number when I don't have a phone?
See, man. So going back to one of the things he said about how winters are the hardest seasons to sleep outside if you're homeless, like you hear stories about it all the time, especially where I'm at in the Northeast, like homeless people actually freezing to death because it's so cold outside and they don't have anywhere to stay. And in the richest country in the world, it shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't have people living in those conditions, especially considering the fact that there are enough houses in this country to place everyone, each and every single person. That shouldn't be a thing. And having worked with people who were suffering from homelessness, I understand where he's coming from, where he said, like, when I try to fill out a job application, they ask me for a phone number. Well, he's facing two problems. One, his presentation, because he can't afford better clothes. And I remember when I was working as a case manager, there was only one program that actually provided people with a stipend to go and get professional clothes that they needed to interview, so they didn't have to come out of pocket for it because they don't have the money. But those programs aren't like everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like even organizations that provide those services, it's like first come, first serve. And there are dry seasons where they don't get a lot of donations. And if they don't get a lot of donations, and the demand is high, then there are just going to be a bunch of people like this gentleman right here who are asked out. And that's mad unfortunate. And another thing he talked about was like the phone. He said, how can I expect to get a call back from an employer when I don't even have a phone? And that's another issue that I ran into. A lot of people who didn't have phones. And judging by how this like when this video was taken, it looks like it was taken like years before the Obama phone came out. So thankfully that changed the game for a few people. But even when the Obama phone came out, which is the government gives you basically a free phone that you can use, and you could use that to do, but even that was not advertised and put out there correctly. Like I remember having dozens and dozens of clients who didn't have phones, and I was like, hey, have you ever checked in with like the Obama phone program? You could get a free phone. And they were like, what, like for real? And they didn't even know. So I feel for him.
It's just a struggle out there, I just, from day to day, people, I come out here and panhandle with my cup. Right here at the Metro train station, people come off bringing me sandwiches and stuff like this here. And I start out in my morning about 6 o'clock. Sometimes I don't even have enough to go to the flop house. Sometimes the flop house is a cheap place and they number $16 for 24 hours right over there on Clark and Van Buren. And a lot of times I don't have enough money for that, so I had to end up sleeping in the park or on one of these benches downtown or something like this, and then the security guards come and run you off about 5 or 6 in the morning. So by 6 o'clock I started panhandling and trying to survive. And like I said,
imagine that, yo. Imagine that. Like people are literally being sleep deprived. So how can you put yourself in a position to succeed, get a job, get a house, get a car, when you can't even get 8 hours of sleep in a quiet place every night because you got a security guard shooing you away from sleeping on their property, sleeping on a bench, or you got a police officer telling you to like relocate so that you don't draw attention to yourself and make, you know, the passerbyers uncomfortable with your mere presence. These are the untouchables in our society. You know, these are the people that everybody looks down on, the people that folks just drag through the mud. And it's really striking a chord with me, you know, because it's not his conditions. That is a product of society. That's society's fault. That is society's fault for not providing the basic infrastructure to prevent people from ending up in situations like that. From the very beginning. I'm not talking about from where he's at right now. Yes, this man needs resources. He needs help. He needs assistance. And it needs to be holistic, all-encompassing, and intensive. But I'm talking about like from the womb. You know what I'm saying? Like people should have those resources already. Some people do. You know, you got middle, and upper class folks who have those resources. But the rest of us, poor and working class folk, we don't, those opportunities are not plentiful for us. You know, so the margin for error is much slimmer, which is why we end up working so much harder to make ends meet and staying in the same place.
Before some days I don't even have enough to get a room. And like I said before, some days I don't even have enough to get a room, so I just sleep on the street. But I depend on the people that's coming off the train, because most of them I give them respect. You know, most of them like me. They come out and give me clothes and food and stuff like this here, so I can survive. Give me a few bucks and everything, and I add it up at the end of the day and get me a little room for the night. And whenever I'm not fortunate enough to get the room, I just sleep in the street wherever I can. Yeah. It's really humiliating to be shaking a cup 24 hours a day and people just look at you like you some kind of little bum, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have had people to walk past me and say, "Get a job, bum." And I said, "Wait a minute, I'm not a bum, I'm a human being." And it's hard. But after the end of the day, when people go home and everybody get on the metro train and then and then I just feel so bad that I can't be going home, you know. I'm sorry, but it's really emotional because I'm really trying to get myself together and get off this tree, you know. I don't care what it's doing. If I can get a job and through this humility, you know, I mean, you just lose all your humility when you're shaking a cup begging. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can look at a person and tell if they give you respect or not. You know what I mean? A lot of people look at you like you're just a piece of crumb. You know, I had one guy walk past me and talked about me so bad, and then I just looked at him. I said, "God bless you, sir." He walked past and went down the street, come right back. And he said, "You know what, man, I had a bad day." He said, "I'm sorry for even calling you that." He said, "Because I know you're a human being." He said, "Would you accept my apology?" I said, "Apology accepted." He went in his pocket and gave me 30 bucks and said, "Go get you a room and get you something to eat." You know what I mean? I mean, you know, no matter what people think about me, I know I'm a human first. And just because I'm down on my luck, don't give nobody no excuse to call me no bum.
See, this man has more dignity and self-respect than most people he comes into contact with, and that's saying a lot, because to live in poverty, to be homeless, is to live in a state of humiliation, to live in a state of shame. If it's not internal shame, it's external shame, where society blames you for being in the position that you're in. Society comes up with justifications and rationale to reinforce your oppression instead of helping you out. And when he was talking about the loneliness when people go home to their families, you know, and he doesn't have anybody to go home to. Like, come on, man. People like this should be held in the highest esteem. You know, people like this should be admired in our society. People like this should be taken care of and provided with every resource to succeed and to make the most out of their potential. They shouldn't have to depend on the good graces of individuals in an individualistic society in order to have their basic needs met. Because truth be told, this man could go out and pandle from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. each and every single day for a whole year, and that's still not going to be enough for him to get an apartment. I mean, where is this? Like New York City or Boston? Like, come on now. And that's an entirely different conversation, but it's tied to the homelessness epidemic that many cities in this country have because rent prices are too high. So, God bless this man, and society just needs to do better. And if y'all took something away from this video, my reaction to it, please comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all next time. Peace.